Hello guys, so we're going to build our first pipeline using the cloud, AWS Kubernetes, Docker through Jenkins. So how to deploy your project to the world from your GitHub repository. So we're going to have a project on GitHub and we're going to try to move it to the cloud. So installations and requirements, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So you open an account first in AWS. It's a cloud provider, is to virtualize your platform. You need the credit card details. You'll be charged $1 just for verification purposes. Same for the phone number or an email. I use the phone number for my account. All normal personal details you will have to provide them, and you choose a free support account. So you'll get the health dashboard and the trust advisor will be available for free. So that's all you need to create your AWS account. This is just a screenshot of the basic support. It's free. Alright, so here you see the access to the health dashboard and the trust advisor will be for free. So here is the screen after you log in, after having created your account. So you get the region, the EC2 instance here if you want to use EC2. On the top right you get your username. So there's some other setup accounts. You're going to set up a Docker Hub and a GitHub account. So create a Docker Hub account. You create a repository in this account to store your Dockerized project. You create a GitHub account and you push your project to your GitHub account. So that's for your pipeline to be able to get the code and start the stages of the pipeline. So same for the Docker Hub account. It will be pushing Docker image of your application and using it also to deploy it later on. So the installation, there's the list of all installation required. So you need to create a master computer in EC2 instance. Jenkins will manage your pipeline. JDK for Java application, AWS CLI to interact with the AWS environment. You need also Docker to containerize application, kubectl to interact with Kubernetes clusters, and ekctl, which is especially for the Kubernetes instance in AWS, which you also need to install. So this is all the installation that we will be going through. There's a lot to do, so just a quick visualization of just a diagram just to see what we're gonna do. So here out of the cloud, there's the Docker Hub and the GitHub repositories. They'll be interacting. That's why the code will be actually interacting with Jenkins. Jenkins is gonna get the code from GitHub. It's gonna then from this EC2 instance send it to the Docker Hub, Dockerized, and after it's going to use that Docker image to push it to Kubernetes. There will be two different nodes. So from the EC2 instance, which will be the master node, and the node 1 and 2 will be in the Kubernetes cluster. So EKS in AWS Cloud. Right. So we have the outside world and the world inside the cloud. So the 6 steps for the creation of the master node using AWS EC2. So we're gonna try to see the steps. So first you go to AWS console and you tap EC2. That's just to navigate. So EC2 on the top, the search bar, and you navigate to this one here. You click on EC2. So second you launch the instance and you choose Ubuntu 24 medium because we can't use free tier for EKS. We need a space for all of installations. So our master node need more space to install Jenkins and all the required installations. So we're gonna choose medium instead of the free tier, which is the micro normally. So here we are in the screen. You see here EC2 dashboard and we click launch instance. So here launch, and we click here to launch the instance, and we're gonna start the settings. So here we choose Ubuntu, so choose a machine AMI. I'm still using those ones, so the AMI number will be hidden, so I just put something white so you can see it, but that's the one you choose. And here you choose T2 medium. You see T2 medium, so that's when the instance type. And next you go to configure instance details, so that's the next screen. So here T2 medium, this is done, and we go to configure instance. So after you just click through configure instance details, then you add storage. Leave it as default, 8 GB will be enough for a tutorial. Then you go to add tag and provide a name to your EC2 instance. The name I'm going to use here is Jenkins master node, so that will be the node in which we're going to install Jenkins and from which we're going to launch all our different commands. So choose instance type, step 2, just leave it like that. Configure instance details, so you see all the steps on the top. Keep going, configure instance details, add storage coming after. You see it's at 8 GB. Okay, after that here I just put a name, Jenkins master node, just a tag name. It's not an obligation to do that, but I've just put it. And after you configure the security groups, next go to security group and add a custom TCP port 8080, which is the Jenkins port. This is to be able to access to Jenkins from the outside world actually. So to be able to interact with it using our internet browser. So you don't worry about all the warnings. There's no error, it's just because we opened the port to the outside world. So there will be some different warnings. But it's very, very important to create this port, otherwise you can't interact with Jenkins. So the port by default is SSH. This is to be able to connect to instance. We're gonna ask this one, custom TCP port 8080 on the port 8080. And after you just click launch, and you launch your instance. So you press on launch and you select a key pair if you have one, or you just create a new one. So the key pair will permit you to SSH, so to connect to your instance from your local computer. So you click on create new key pair, you choose the RSA type, you give it a name. Mine will be a Jenkins AWS key pair. You download the key pair and you put it in the folder from which you're going to SSH your EC2. So this is the key pair to connect to your EC2 instance. Let's see from the screenshot. So here select an existing key pair. You see RSA, Jenkins AWS key pair, and you download it. And it's down there on the left side. That's good. So after you get this screen, the instance is launching. It's going to take a few seconds to minutes, and you'll be able to see the status. So here is the next screen saying that your instance is now launching. So it's still on the process. So you can go now to the EC2 dashboard and to see if the instance is running by clicking on running instance. If there is no name on your instance on the left, AWS gives you the option to add a name, so you can add a name to it. If the instance is not running or you have stopped it, you can restart it. So you just go above in the middle right, you'll see instance state, and you click on it. There will be a drop-down menu giving you the option to stop it, start it, terminate it, reboot it. So like just a normal computer. But it should normally be running. So here you can clear the filters. So you get rid of this, clear the filters so you can see which instance are, how many instances you have, etc. You need to select on the left side, and after click on instance, state, stop, reboot, or terminate it. So make sure you select the instance first by ticking the blue box. Right. So later on we might need to reboot it. So what we did here, we did an AWS account. We've seen the requirement. We have seen the infrastructure and the 6-step to create the masternode. So next we're gonna SSH to our masternode. So you're gonna connect it. So you'll be able to control it from distance. Install Jenkins, set up Jenkins, and install Docker. And make sure that Docker Jenkins user is in the Docker group also. So I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video. I did short videos, so you'll be able to follow along and to do it step by step. It's pretty, it's more easy actually than just